Hey everyone, I've gathered you here today to talk about something that I've wanted to talk about for, well, ever since I've thought of Hikikomori media. There's just been no natural way I could have included this in any one of my videos. There's there's really no right way to transition into what I'm about to tell you. So, I was thinking about content that I could make for my Patreon followers, something that I can make in between my bigger videos, and that would be enjoyable and give you a little bit more background on who I am as a gamer, what I have in my collection, etc. And I was going through my NES collection, and then I remembered one thing. I own 3 copies of Barbie on the NES. Now, why would a grown ass man have 3 copies of Barbie on the NES? Well, there's a funny story associated with my first copy of Barbie here in my little Funko Land sleeve. Uh, there's a really, really sad story attached to this. Kind of funny for everyone but me, but uh, when I was, I think, 5 years old, I was in love with the NES. My mom had gotten me one at a garage sale, and they were still selling NES games in the store. And they would also like clearance old NES games. So it was around the time where NES was on its way out, and Super Nintendo was on its way in. And I remember during this birthday, I was looking forward to hanging out with all my friends, playing outside. And then whenever the nighttime came around, we were all going to go inside and play video games. And one of the games I was anticipating more than anything else was Star Tropics 2 Zoda's Revenge. I was really excited about that game because the original Star Tropics was my favorite game on the NES at that time, and Zoda's Revenge had commercials on TV, and it's all I could think about. It was the one thing I asked for on my birthday. I wasn't asking for much. I mean, I didn't grow up in a super rich family or anything, but I wanted Star Tropics 2. So I had all my friends over, and I was telling them, like, you think you know what your birthday presents are going to be, and you're going to tell them, like, hey, we're going to play Star Tropics 2 tonight, okay? So clear your schedules. Come over. We're going to have pizza and Star Tropics 2, and I'm hyping it up around school and getting my friends to come over, right? Now, if you know anything about me, I'm a very practical joker, comedic type of guy, but I didn't just get it from nowhere. It came from my mom, and she was the expert troll back in the 90s. So I think we went to this place called Chuck E. Cheese, or as it was known as Showbiz Pizza. It was an arcade place where, if you ever played Five Nights at Freddy's, it's where they got the inspiration for the animatronic robots and the pizza place. Just think about any sort of kids attraction, like a pizza place where you can go and slide on slides and play in ball pits. That's where we went. So we went to Chuck E. Cheese, and everyone gathered around because we were going to blow out the birthday candles, and then I was going to open my presents, right? So my mom made this big ordeal. She had one present that she wanted to present to me in front of all my friends, and it was wrapped up in a big old box shape, and it kind of looked like this. You know where this is going. So I'm like, this is it. It's Star Tropics 2. I'm going to show my friend Isaiah, and then show everyone and talk about it and think about nothing else on the car ride home but Star Tropics 2. And I rip it open, and it's a copy of Barbie on the NES. Oh my fucking god. I've never felt so cucked in my entire life. My mom just pulled my dreams out from under me. And I was red in the face, and I was mad, and I just wanted to run into the fucking ball pit and just cover myself with balls and just hide from everyone because I was so mad. I was like, what the fuck? And, but I mean, now it's come down to it. I was like, I did not want to open any of my other presents. I didn't want to eat any birthday cake. I didn't want to be around anyone because everyone was laughing. All my friends were laughing at me. I knew that they were going to tell everyone at school about the fucking Barbie. I mean, a glamorous quest full of magic, fun, and adventure. How could I be mad, right? So the I refused to go back to the table until my mom just like put away the Barbie thing. I didn't want to see it on the table. I didn't want to see it poking out of her purse. It just needed to get out of Chuck E. Cheese. As far as I was concerned, she could have thrown it in the dump for all I cared. But I was really mad. So yes, she put it away. The joke was over. There's another story from that night. I don't know how to work it in, but I'll just tell it to you so I can get it out of the way because I have no other way to tell the story. But that same fucking night, my mom had told, she's really sadistic. She had told all my friends that Chuck E. Cheese was going to be my new dad. and fucking Chuck E. Cheese was hugging up on my mom the entire fucking night in front of my friends. Once again, cucked again by my mom in front of all my friends. And he was giving her all back rubs and stuff like that, and like sitting on the booth and following my mom around and stuff, waving. And she had fabricated this whole story about how Chuck E. Cheese was going to be my new dad. And it turned out it was my next door neighbor, Pickle, who was like a teenager that was getting in on the bants. I don't know, maybe he could have been my new dad, but I was just pissed the fuck off. Like, Daddy 05 had nothing on my mom, okay? So yeah, I was a little miffed. But yes, long story short, I did end up with a copy of Star Tropics 2. But I wasn't going to let my mom win here because the first thing is like, I got to play it cool. I got to pretend like the Barbie thing didn't bother me. It was, I was just getting a little miffed, but it was no big deal. So the first thing I did is like I got all my friends together. I was like, "Oh, hey guys, I know you wanted to play Star Tropics 2, but we're just gonna go ahead and play Barbie." And I was gonna pretend like I was enjoying it and stuff. So I was gonna let my mom know that it didn't bother me. Honestly, I should fucking probably speak to a psychiatrist because this is really fucked up, and I couldn't let it go. But so yeah. I mean, like, not only that, but, like, I was going to play it and, like, not let her know, and then I was going to, like, throw it away or something like that. But, when I tried to throw this game away, my mom she had labeled it with my phone number in case anywhere it went, like, you can call this, it probably doesn't work anymore, but that's my 90s telephone number. She put it on there, put my name on both sides. There was no way I could get rid of it. So even if I threw it away, somebody would have returned it to me. Anyway, so this is why I brought you here today to this video. This is what I think is the rarest game in my collection. Because I did sit down when I was younger and I played through this game. Because like on those weekends when you're bored and you have nothing to do and you got your Game Genie, you'll sit down and you'll play something, right? So I did play through Barbie, and you know what? It's not that bad. It's actually kind of a fun game. It's a little side-scrolling action adventure where you can like control animals and stuff with charms, and then like Barbie gets all these like different costumes like Super Mario Brothers 3. So you know what? Turns out it was actually kind of a good gift. But I played it like as a kid, and I remembered like NES music. That was the one thing that always stuck out. Like before remembering anything about the game, I always remembered all the little jingles because they'd repeat on loop on loop on loop, so like you'd remember what the tunes were. So I always remembered like Barbie like always had this like boom 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 boom, and I really liked the music in it. The game was made by High Tech Expressions. They made a bunch of like the Mickey Mouse games and stuff like that. They also had this like really cool 80s heart logo on there. So I do like the game at the end of the day. So I played it a bunch as a kid. I ended up beating it. It's actually a hard game as you go through it. Like you fight things like soda machines and giant ice cream sundaes. This last level, there's like a conveyor belt when you're like at a disco and you got to go meet up with Ken. But like if you fall off, you get sent back to the beginning of the level. It's actually pretty tough. So this is the rarest game in my collection. You're like, no, how could it be rare? It's just Barbie on the NES. Well, I don't know how I have this variant or whatever you would you call it or consider it, but something's different. So I've gathered you here today. Like, look at this. This is my shittily painted Samus NES, and I didn't paint that as a child. That was when I was 20 years old, and I thought I would be cool by making a Samus NES. I mean, it doesn't look that bad far away, but it's a horrend. Let me see if I can pull it up here without fucking up my setup. Look how shitty this thing looks. I thought it would be cool by putting electrical tape and then like peeling it off, so I had like a coating of black and then I had like a yellow on this half anyway. Long story short, I ruined this NES. One of the worst looking NESs you'll ever see. But it's the only one I could find outside of hooking up my retro. I was like, no, that will soil the experience that I'm about to lay on you here. And I'm sure there's a better way to capture this whole story, you know, like through an Elgato. But no, we're going to do it live. I also have like one of the weirdest variants of the NES controllers here. This is like a Hudson Joy Card. This is like a Famicom port. Like they ported the Famicom controller over to the US. And like you can't find these anywhere. You can even plug in your headphones in there. Anyway, without any further ado, this is live, so I don't know if this is going to work the first time. I've got my Commodore 1084 monitor that I bought $5 from my college when I was 20. That's another story for another day. Is it going to work the first time? I don't think it will. Let's try it again. Old school. This is live. I'm going to turn up the volume to the max, too. Oh! We got it. Hold up. Oh, vertical sync. I'm going to get... Which one's the volume? Here we go. Okay, I fucked up something. Let me look back here. Okay. I'm spoiling all the good shit. Hold on. There we go. That's really loud. Okay, so this is my copy from when I was like 6 or 7 years old. It was my 6th or 7th birthday. Let me turn out the lights in my room so you can see this game maybe. I'll bring it up closer. Focus, camera. Alright, you know what? It's not going to focus. That doesn't matter. I'm just going to play the music for you, and I want you to get a feel for the music. I'm going to be absolutely silent here, okay? Okay, this is the intro to the game. So Barbie is like talking about her dream. She's trying to go to the dance with Ken. Okay, first level. Okay, so I'm pausing the game. Let me see if I can adjust any of the contrast or brightness on here. I don't think I'll be able to where you can see it. If I can make it super dark. Anyway, that's level 1 of the game. And for my entire life, I thought, that's the Barbie music. That's what I've come to learn and love. I was wrong, because when I was like 20, 25... 23, I wanted to play Barbie and see if I could speedrun it or something, because I was getting into speedrunning at the time, and I was like, this is going to be it. Okay, this is going to be the one meme game that's going to bring me to prominence, right? Oh no. Everything I knew about Barbie changed when I fired up that ROM. Okay? So I used to buy game lots for my NES. And in that game lot, I got another copy of Barbie. Okay? So here's what's gonna seal it as my rarest game. Hold up. Sounds the same so far. What? This is the dream sequence. I just hit start. We got this squealy Home Alone THQ soundtrack going here. Level 1. All of a sudden, I've entered Krusty's Funhouse. What the hell is this? Why do I... Okay. Let's get the lights back on. We're going to do some investigative research here. Okay. I don't see any variations in the cart. They both have the NES 8V USA distinctions on them. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, we'll do one at a time. So, I don't know if that'll focus. It says NES 8V. It won't focus. On the back, pretty much the same game. Completely different boards. And I thought it was going crazy. I watched Let's Plays of Barbie trying to figure out, like, if it was just like a bad dump ROM or like a beta. No, that second one I played for you, that's the main cartridge of Barbie on the NES. The one that my mom duped me into getting for my birthday, that's the weird variant. It's like I think I have a beta of, or at least like an earlier revision of Barbie on the NES. Now, back when I was like 21, 22, I was like collecting NES games like mad. And there's a store called Vintage Stock that's like in the Midwest. And they were selling Barbie on the NES. And it's not necessarily sealed, like somebody re-shrink wrapped this shit. But it's going for, I don't know, like 20, 30 bucks, like this complete box. But I've never opened it. So I'm going to open it for you guys now. And it's not like it's factory sealed. It's just some company sealed it up here. So I'm going to relive this this waking nightmare of my 7th birthday. I don't even know if it's complete box. Let's find out. I'm not seeing any instructions. Okay, so I don't get any instructions. But it's a pretty decent copy of Barbie. It's not torn like my other ones are. It obviously doesn't have my childhood phone number on there. So one question remains. What version of Barbie is this? Is there a third version? We're about to find out. So far, so good. Sounds normal. What? So, recap, it's just like my birthday copy. Just like my birthday copy. So I've got two, I'm going to call it the birthday edition. I've got two birthday editions. And then I have this weird Krusty's Funhouse edition of Barbie. I don't know what's up with it. Because I know, okay, this is my guess. I need to pull out one more game here. Just to prove my point, I'm going to go in the other room for a second. Submitted for your approval, I present to you Exhibit C, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York by THQ. Now, if you've played through Barbie on the NES multiple times like I have, you'll notice that Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, shares a similar sound set, so all the sound effects sound the same. Also, the music's kind of similar. I don't know what this will prove, but we're going to try it out. Hold on a second. Hold on a second! God, it's stuck in my NES. All right. That proved absolutely nothing. Maybe the sound was different than I thought, but it does have similar sound sets. Now, my theory is, and I haven't verified this is what I was getting at all along. Back when the NES or Nintendo had this archaic seal of approval, the Nintendo seal of quality, they would only put it they'd only license I don't know, 4 or 5 games per year that each company could put out on the NES, right? And that was their max, so you could only bring out your best games to the West. Now, how companies skirted around this was they would make shell companies. So the most famous one is Ultra Games being a shell company for Konami. So Konami could release double the games. I have a feeling that High Tech Expressions was a shell company of THQ. And somewhere along the lines, whenever they were burning the ROMs for the different versions of Barbie, from the Famicom version and the NES version, they got mixed up somewhere, and in my birthday cartridge, or the one I bought is the Famicom one, and I think my birthday cartridge is the NTSC version. I haven't been able to verify this because I don't have Barbie for the Famicom. So the mystery continues. I want to thank you all for joining me on this epic quest to rediscover my childhood and mostly trauma, via my mother. Please don't show this to any clinical psychiatrist, because I'm sure they'll prescribe me some medicine or some sort of opioids after this one. But if you know anything about why there's this variant of Barbie, or if you can explain it to me, please post it in the comments down below. This has been something that's been plaguing me for years. Okay, so thanks for watching. Bye.